Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. That never changes, which is now though 11 a.m. if you're in Australia because the US have gone into daylight savings, or midnight I believe if you're in the UK. I normally remind you guys, like I would have reminded you last week, but I wasn't streaming, so how many people are going to forget about daylight savings in the US? And Mr. Squarepeg, it's good to see you. Hello to you as well. Yeah, a B-day. I might need to grab a B-day, I think, because you can't buy toilet paper in this country. Everyone's freaking out. It's good to see you too, Mr. Squarepeg. Oh, man. Not just toilet paper, of course. I went shopping. I usually go shopping at like Sundays sort of thing, Sunday night. There's no toilet paper. There's no white sugar. There's no white rice. There's no hand sanitizer. It's just insane. It's insane. Mr. Squarepeg says the panic buying of toilet paper is bad here. So I'm glad it's not just Australia. I thought it was just Australians being idiots. But it's bad where you are as well, Mr. Squarepeg. Well, what is it with toilet paper? What are people worried about? But I don't get that. I mean, I know we all need toilet paper, but do you need to buy like 300 rolls at a time? I mean, what do they think is going to happen? People aren't going to be able to make toilet paper anymore. It's silly. Just silly. Oh, man. And the white sugar and the white rice and the hand sanitizer, it's all, you can't buy any of it. I am still good for toilet paper though, so I'm okay for the moment. For the moment, if I can't buy some in the next couple of weeks, then that could kind of start causing a bit of a problem. Mr. Squarepeg says, I don't care, coronavirus does not make you go to the bathroom like crazy. No, I know, that's what I mean. Well, why the run on toilet paper? I don't understand people. Do they think they're going to be locked up in their home for like 6 months or something? It's just insane. People are irrational. At times of a bit of a problem, people just get completely irrational. Mr. Squarepeg says, in other news, the US market has crashed. I saw that this morning as well because I switch between listening to music and catching up on the news before I start the stream. And I saw the market crash. It crashed in this country yesterday. It's probably going to crash again today in Australia, and the Dow went down, what was it, nearly 8%, I think, 7 point something percent. Not good at all. The world is freaking out. But you have solitude, you can watch me here on Twitch, I'm not going anywhere. I'm healthy and happy at the moment, so that's all good. Back from my trip interstate, I had to fly up to Brisbane to see a corporate client that the studio has. That's all well and good. And like I said, I feel fine, so fingers crossed. We are going to continue working on the House in the Hollow master bedroom that we're creating for the game, The House in the Hollow, which you can wishlist on Steam now. Just click the graphic in my panels below my stream. It'll take you to the Steam store page. We're creating the master bedroom for that manor house. We'll probably finish it off today. There's not a lot left to do. We just got to put some lights in, some physics lights in, do some reflection captures, finish off to putting some floor sections in. That's probably about it. There's not a lot left to do in the bedroom. And once we've finished the bedroom, we will move to the study. And then after we've done the study, we'll move to the attic. So bedroom, study, attic. So let's jump straight into Unreal, shall we? As always, if you have any questions while I'm working, please feel free to ask me in chat. I'm happy to help if I can. If you just want to pop in and say hello, that's always welcome. But if all you want to do is watch, that's completely fine. I do get that. So, the master bedroom. Now, it is dark because we have no lights in here at the moment. So let's just turn lit mode on, shall we? Unlit mode, I mean. So we can see what's going on. Now, again, if you want to buy and play the game, you probably should not be watching the streams because you will get spoilers. I'm telling you up front now. If you want to play the game and you don't want spoilers, don't watch the stream. Mr. Squarepeg says, in other news, Medicare for All, our vision of socialised medicine, is getting a lot of traction amongst the electorate. Well, that's good to hear because we have that in this country. We have what we call Medicare, which is basically Medicare for All that you guys are talking about in the US at the moment. We have both, though. We have the public health care, Medicare, and you can also take out private health cover. So this argument you guys have in the US of whether it's all one thing or all the other, I don't understand, because we have both. And it works quite well in this country. Just because we have private health cover, that doesn't affect the public health cover and vice versa. So, look, I don't follow it as closely because I don't live in the US, but from what I've seen on television, it's sort of like, well, we only have private health cover or we only have public health cover. I don't understand. Just have both. People that want private, they can get private. People that want the public, then they use the public. And the public health cover in this country is very good. So, but I'm glad to hear it's gaining traction because it can be incredibly expensive if you get sick and you don't have a public health system that you can rely on. If you must have private health cover, it can get incredibly expensive. And part of the public health cover that we have in this country, the government every year add new drugs to what they call the pharmaceutical list, which are like, it could be really expensive drugs for cancer or heart disease or anything like that. That generally, if you've got to pay for them, it's going to cost you like $100,000 a year. Well, the governments every year add to their pharmaceutical list of subsidised medicines. So that brings that cost down to instead of spending $100,000 a year, you've only got to spend maybe $200 a year. For those people that can't afford to spend $100,000 a year, So I know that it's a touchy subject amongst a lot of people, but really, public health cover is a good thing, people. It's a good thing. It's not socialism. It's just good for everyone. The only people that don't like it are the large insurance companies. And they don't like it because they don't want people not to have to pay for private health cover. So this socialism argument is just nonsense. Sorry, but it's nonsense. I'm not saying you should vote for Bernie Sanders because I don't know the man. Or Joe Biden. They're the only two left now, aren't they, in the race? But all I'm saying is public health cover is good. Mr. Squarepeg says, Hal Bernie is not even a real socialist, he's a social democrat. Well, there you go. In your opinion. Well, you're probably right. But, that's... I've heard Mr. Trump calling him a communist. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. Socialism is not a bad thing. You should not be afraid of the word socialist, people. Being socialist is not a bad thing. We're not talking about taking away anything from you. They're just saying that a bit more social responsibility in the world is a good thing. Not turning communist. We're not talking about being communist. We're just talking about being a little bit, a little bit fairer in society, perhaps. And helping people that can't afford health cover is a good thing. Mr. Squarepeg says, yep, they are the two left. Yep, the only two left, Mr. Biden and Mr. Sanders. Oh well, Elizabeth Warren dropped out and she was the only other one that was in the race, I believe, recently. Anyway, don't be afraid of socialism. Don't be afraid of healthcare for all. America, you'll be fine. It's a good thing, trust me. I've lived in that system in this country, in Australia, since I was born. And it's always been a good thing. Public health cover is a good thing. Don't be scared. It'll be fine. All right, this table. Now, I've added a particle effect on it because I want to draw players' attention to the table. The table is an important part of the game because it's how you actually get access to the book that you need to find. So just to make sure that the player understands that this table is needs to be used, it's important, I've put this particle effect on it. And again, like I said, all it does is it draws the player's attention to the table when they're moving through the room. Okay, so the floor. There's just a couple of bits and pieces I want to put on the floor here to finish it all. Now, we have the statue pointing up to hint that there's an attic. We have the painting with the bookcase in the background to hint to the player that they should maybe look at the bookcase. On the bookcase, let me just go into game mode. I have this little lock. Again, it'll be a bit more noticeable when the lights go in. There's a ring that you need to find in the game which will unlock the bookcase door. So, and the lock just has a little ram's head on it. So all those things should hopefully help the player realise that they should pay attention to the bookcase because there might be something above them. But just to give the player one more hint again, because, you know, people need hints, I've created this section of flooring, which I'm going to bring in now. When Unreal lets me, there we go. We're just going to move it up and rotate it around. Just going to undo that because I want to turn angle snap on. And this piece of flooring is going to go in front of the bookcase. Now you can see it's got like a pentagram, occult symbol here in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this in to about halfway. Line it up. Make sure it's sitting down on the ground. Okay, so again, this pentagram occult symbol lines up with the doorway in the bookcase. So people hopefully will notice that this pentagram is they can only see half of it, so they might help to give them a hint that there's something maybe here that they should look at. And again, it just helps to draw attention to that middle doorway. There is method in my madness. I'm just going to go behind the bookcase and make sure this is lined up correctly. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes, yes. Again, I'm just making sure that it's lined up and it looks fine. Good. I could probably pull it forward a little bit more if I wanted to. Let's have a look at that. I'm just trying to make sure that the symbol itself is not being occluded. No, it's fine. It's meeting up with the join there, which is fine. Good. So yes, they can see that there's a symbol here that's partially occluded, which will hint to them that there's a door. Hopefully, that there's a doorway left. That there's a doorway there. Again, I'm just making sure it's lined up correctly. And look at that, all fits perfectly. You'd think I'd planned it. All right. And it also just helps to add a bit more interest to the floor in the bedroom. Okay, what else? What else? What else? Lights. Now, I want to set up physics lights here, if I can remember, because it's been a while since I've set one of these things up, so let's see how we go. We want to start with the join that's going to go on the ceiling. I'm going to put 2 lights in this room. We'll work out the scale once the lights go in. So let's put this about the middle. Make sure we are up on our ceiling. It should be good. I want one there and I want one up there, so let's duplicate that connector. I'm just trying to work out if I should scale before I do a duplicate. No, it's alright. Let's bring one more over. About there. Okay, let's find our light fitting. I did create a gothic looking light fitting. There it is. Let's bring that in. Now it is going to need to be scaled up because it's too small. I want these to be like a really dramatic feature in the bedroom, so we want them to be quite big. Okay, let's pull back and scale. I probably should have moved it down before I started scaling it up. Let's just do that. Now we don't want it quite that big. That's a little bit too big. You'd be lying in bed and if that thing fell on you, you'd be dead. So let's scale it back a little bit. Just going to pull back and have a look at it from a bit of a distance. I'm actually just going to turn lit mode back on so we can get a better look at what's going on. It's probably not too bad. I don't think it needs to be any bigger. Yeah, no, I think that'll be alright. So let's just make sure it's lined up correctly. I'm also going to increase the size of that bracket in 2 seconds. So let's scale the bracket up. Because the light is quite big, it will need quite a large bracket. And let's just copy that bracket size to the one we made before. Android Lust, it's good to see you, buddy. How are you? How are you holding up? Are you getting toilet paper? I was just talking to Mr. Squarepeg about it. You can't buy toilet paper in this country for love nor money. There's none. No toilet paper, no white sugar, no white rice, no hand sanitizer. People are going mad. But I hope you're well. I hope you're holding up okay there, Android Lust. Hope your internet's holding up okay. Okay, let's duplicate this light fitting for here. Android Lost says, I can't buy hand sanitizer. No, neither can we. I can't buy it either. It's sold out. I do have some, but I had to go shopping. I had to go searching for it in like chemists and stuff to find it. You can't buy it at a supermarket. Android Love says, but the good news is that my internet is working good. Well, that's good to hear. The stars have aligned and your internet is working properly. Good to hear. I didn't move anything then by mistake, did I? No. Okay. And do remember, guys and girls, if you do have bad internet, we have transcoding generally on the stream, so you don't have to watch me in 1080p. You can knock me all the way back to 160p if your internet's really bad. Alrighty, so let us see if I can turn these into physics assets. Just before I do that though, I want to add some lights here. So I'm going to turn lit mode back on. But yes, no, can't buy toilet paper. Have not been able to buy toilet paper in this country for a couple of weeks. There is no toilet paper. It's the toilet paper crisis of 2020. Let's bring some point lights in here. Now, I'm pretty sure I should be okay because I've set this up as a transparent material, as you can see here. So our point light, if we place it in the middle, should be fine. If this wasn't a transparent material, I couldn't put a light in the middle because then it would block any light from escaping. I'd have to put 4 lights around the outside to simulate the light coming from the light fitting, which I'd rather not do. It's much better and easier if I can actually just have one. Android Lust says, that sucks. I had a good amount before the world fell apart. See, I should have been like you and stocked up before things fell apart. I didn't think people would go mad for toilet paper. It was just not something that entered my brain that people would start hoarding toilet paper. I don't know. And I've got enough to last me for another couple of weeks, but if I don't get some in the next few weeks, well then, yeah, we're going to be in trouble. Mr. Squarepeg says I should get a bidet. Probably a good idea. So we're just going to bring in a point light. And you see that it doesn't block the light inside because of the fact that the material is transparent. And we get these nice interesting shadows happening as well. Smokeberry Barbecue, hey to you as well. Nice floor, nice floor. You saw the floor. You're talking about the floor down there that we were working on, yep. And how are you going for toilet paper, Smurfberry? We can't buy it for love nor money, I was saying to the guys in chat in this country. People are hoarding toilet paper. Hoarding it. Then we can move this light to sort of decide how the shadows, what shadows look best. So I'm just going to pull back so we can get a bit more of an overview, and then we can play with the shadow. Play with the light for the shadow. You have toilet paper? Oh man, I'm so jealous. We have no toilet paper in this country. You cannot buy toilet paper. Smurfberry says the answer is flickering shadows. Flickering shadows look best. Why flickering shadows? Why do flickering shadows look best? Now I don't want. I can move it up there, but I don't want that much shadow to hit the ceiling. I want to be able to see the ceiling a little bit. So, and that and the fact too, the actual texture, the light fitting is actually around the middle of the middle of the light. So we're going to sort of simulate that here by putting it just below the middle. I quite like the way the shadow's sort of framing the bed here, or the curtain. And we still get some nice shadows happening up here on the roof. Atmosphere, Smurfberry says. This is electric light though, so it won't really flicker, I'm afraid. I mean, yeah, not unless there's power cuts, and then it would start flickering, but it's not a candle, they're electric lighting, so it shouldn't flicker. Let's just make sure that our light is in the middle. Doesn't look too bad. I think our light is probably in the middle. Again, I'm just going to pull back here and play with the intensity a little bit. I'm going to switch this to unitless. Now, candles is what it defaults to now as far as the intensity goes, but all of the other light fittings we've used in the building before Epic made that change were unitless, so we're going to go back to unitless. And I'm just going to play with this to get the right amount of light. No light, too much light. Oh. I'm just going to look at the attenuation radius as well. Now this is going to be a movable light because it's going to be attached to a physics object, which will be rotating, so I want the light to actually follow the movement of the light itself. So it must be movable. Now I'm just also going to check this piece here for the ceiling. I've noticed something a little bit strange with Unreal here, and I'm not sure why it's doing it, but if I can find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And some of these ceiling pieces shadow strangely, and then the ceilings are using parallax mapping. So I'm not sure if it's something to do with parallax mapping or not. I'm turning off shadow indirect only. I'm turning on shadow indirect only. You see the difference it makes when I turn it off. When I turn it off, we're getting these quite strange looking shadows happening. Now that could be that this mesh doesn't have a high enough light map resolution, shadow map resolution I mean. I'm just going to check it. Let's just pull this in. See, it's 64, it is quite low. I could knock that up. The light map resolution, I can knock it up and that might fix the problem. It very well may. But the higher we go here, the more memory we start to use, and also because we use these ceiling panels quite a lot in the whole building. To get around that so I don't have to use more memory, if you actually, like I said, if you go down here and you can turn on, if I can find it again, I can never find it. Where is it? Where is it? Oh man, come on, where is it? I just turned it on. Seriously? Seriously? I can't remember what it's called, so I can't search for it either. Shadow indirect only, that's what we want to turn on, so that we get rid of that nasty shadow. We still get our nice shadows here for the light fitting, so that's all good. There's something to keep in mind, and again, I don't know if it's a change that Epic have made or if it's just me never noticing it before until now, or if it only really affects parallax mapping for some strange reason. I don't know why, but turning off or turning that flag on fixes the problem. Android Lust says, I hate that in Unreal. I forget what the option is called, but I know it when I see. No, I'm the same. I know. Don't you hate that? I forget what it's called, so I can't do a search for it here to get to it quickly. But when I see it, I know it. And that option is called, what is it called? This one here, Shadow Indirect Only. We're probably going to have to do the same thing for this one. You can do it on a per mesh basis. So that's right. We were playing with the light values to make sure the light values were correct. Let us duplicate the point light for the other light fitting. We still have to bring reflection captures in as well, so. Pull back, and let's just look at the attenuation radius on this. Lighting is just one of those things you got to play with constantly to get the right balance when you're setting up a scene. It's all good. I'd like my floor to stand out a little bit more, so, and I don't want to pull the lights up. Like if I make the lights brighter to hit the floor, it's going to start to wash out the shadows that's happening in the rest of the room. So I really don't want to do that. I want to keep nice shadowing happening. But what I can do is let's have a look at this. We can either try and pull up on the candelabras, or we can add some more of these candles, which is I think what I'll end up doing. Let's duplicate this one. Because who doesn't like candles? I can't put them too close to the door because we want people to be able to open up those cupboard doors. So we'll put one there and duplicate it again. Now these are using static lighting, so adding more lights this way is not going to cause a problem because it's static. It's going to be built into the light map. And I'm glad you remembered, oh, actually you live in the US, Mercury, but I was saying I'm glad you guys remembered daylight savings and the fact the stream starts an hour earlier unless you're in the United States where it's always 5 p.m. Android Love says, oh, I read that, my apologies. Let's duplicate this candle again. Oh, no, I hit the particle emitter by mistake. We don't want that. Let's duplicate, oh, damn it, stop. Let's duplicate the candle. Let's do it over here. Oh, you have a fill alarm, Smurfery says. Good to hear. We have to make sure we don't put these candles in front of the doorway though, so we're going to... Good to hear, but if you're ever not sure, I mean, I know it gets confusing if you don't live in the US because times change. My stream is always 5 p.m. Pacific time. In the United States is when it starts. But if you're not in the US and you're not sure, just go to my Twitch page, and in the panel below you've got a stream countdown. That'll give you an idea of when the stream starts because it's countdown in your time zone. It automatically changes to whatever time zone you're in. So that's the easiest way to remember it. Oh, man. That particle emitter is so big. And I'm still hitting the particle emitter. Oh, give me strength. There we go. Let's duplicate those two for the other side. Let's move them over a bit more. Again, make sure they're not too close to the cupboard doors. Just move this one over and bring it up a little bit. Same with this one, needs to be risen a little bit. Going to go into game mode so I can get a better idea as to what's going on. Out of game mode so I can see my light. Now this is point light 195. And this is Gothic Light Mesh. I'm just going to group these now so that they follow each other. Let's do the same for this one. This is Point Light 196, and we're going to group that to Gothic Light Mesh 2. There we go. Okay. Just going to do a save all here, and then we're going to just maybe make some adjustments to the light. So light 1, pull back. I might just pull up a little on the light value here. We'll go to about 9,000. I'm just going to play in editor really quickly so we can see what's going on. Because the light does change slightly from what you see in the viewport when you start playing in the editor. CCH. Hello to you, CCH 06054. Hello, CCH. Good to see you. Thank you, CCH. I'm glad you like the objects. We're just doing some adjustments to the lighting here and finishing this bedroom off. Now again, you see that the shadowing on that light on the ceiling panel there? We need to make sure that that's not correct, that's fixed up. So let's close our bookcase door and make that adjustment to this panel. Shadow indirect only, that's what we want to turn on. Again, I'm just going to make sure too that my light fittings point lights are set to movable. Yes. We want to set the actual object to movable as well. The actual light fitting, I should say, to movable. Andrew Lost says, is there a sound effect on the bookcase? Yes, there is. There's a creaking sound that plays when you open it up. When you actually unlock it, we haven't actually added the sound effect for that yet, but it's going to be like a sound of gears moving and all that sort of stuff. So when you get the special ring and you go to that little lock that's on the bookcase to unlock it, which is that little lock there, then there'll be a sound of like gears and stuff moving and an unlocking sound. So there will be a sound effect. There isn't just yet. The only sound effect on it at the moment is the creaking as you open it up. And it's actually unlocked at the moment for us testing, but it'll be a locked sound that'll play if you try and open it and you don't have the ring to actually unlock it there. All right, what else? That's right, just a couple of maybe bits and pieces that we can add. So let's just jump into unlit mode again. And turn game mode back on. And there's an urn we didn't use, I don't believe. We used that one, we didn't use this one. So let's put an urn here. I don't think I'll put anything in the urn. We'll just have an urn on its own sitting on the sideboard. Okay. Android Lost says, hopefully I will never see where the ring is. Yeah, well, I actually haven't brought the ring in yet. I have designed it, modelled it, textured it. But I haven't actually brought it into the engine yet. So no one's seen that. Yes, and I won't. Things that you find to actually progress in the game, I'll try and avoid showing those on stream, even during the dev streams, so that if you do want to play the game, it's not going to be completely spoilt for you. So don't worry, you won't see the ring. Like, there's also, I'm not supposed to leave this room. The guys yell at me when I leave this room. But there's also, I'm going to leave the room, but I'm going to keep it on unlit mode so you can't really get a good look at what's going on in the level anyway. But if you look here for the main bedroom, which is what we're working in, there's this little eye thing on the ground. You need to find that symbol. It's like a jewel eye that fits inside of a slit in this disc. You need to find that to turn off, to dismiss this magic circle before you can get into the bedroom. So I won't be showing you where I put that. At the moment you see it there because it's actually hidden when you start playing the game. It's always there, but until you find it and put it in there, it doesn't show up. So you need to find that symbol, that eye symbol, and put it on this disc to dismiss the magic circle. You also need to find the key for the bedroom here, which you can't see because it's hidden. There's a padlock here. Which is this thing just here. You need to find the key for that before you can get into the bedroom. That'll be hidden somewhere as well. Smurfberry says, and yet you keep leaving the room. I know. And they always yell at me. They say, we've told you, Phil, don't leave the room you're working in. So I'm going to get screamed at again. But I didn't turn lit mode on, so you didn't get a really good look at what the actual game looks like. So I kept it in unlit mode. I know it's spoiler. I did warn you guys at the beginning of the stream. If you do want to play the game and you don't want any spoilers, don't watch these streams, because you are going to get some spoilers. But I'm not going to be showing you where things are being hidden. You're still going to have to find them yourselves. But you will get a spoiler as to what goes where. Things like this bookcase, for instance, knowing that there's a door here now. Okay, so reflection captures, that's what we want next. I always like jumping into other parts and copying my reflection captures. I don't generally do it this way where I go through and try and find them here. But I will this time, because I'm trying to stay in this room. Normally I wouldn't. I just go and copy it from another part of the building. First thing we're going to do though is we're going to do a box reflection capture. I'm going to try and find, there it is. Okay, just trying to see where exactly it is. Where is it? Why are things always so hard to see sometimes in the editor? I can see the top of it there. I'll just get into a position here where we can make some adjustments to it and where I can see it. My mistake, that is not the box reflection capture, that is something else. Let's make it really small so it's easy for me to see what's going on. No. Where did it go? I moved it and I can't find it. Let's just delete that. I'm just going to play the editor to stop the music. Okay, let's jump back out. Let's do that again. I want scale. I'm just going to make it small so I can see where it is. There we go. Makes it easier for me to work with. Sniper Echo, it's good to see you, Sniper. How are you? Afternoon to you as well. I am good, Sniper. Thanks for asking. I've just been bitching about the fact you can't buy toilet paper in this country. Can you buy toilet paper where you are over there in Ireland, Sniper Echo? Because you can't buy toilet paper in this country for love nor money. People are gone nuts. They're buying all the toilet paper. All the toilet paper. Sniper says that blue effect under the door, is that particle sim or material? Are you talking about this? It's particle sim. Yeah, these are particle effects. And the same with the one on the table here. Sniper says it's just starting here now, but also, yeah, you can't buy toilet paper, you can't buy white sugar, you can't buy white rice, you can't buy hand sanitizer. People are going insane. People need to chill. They need to take a chill pill and chill. People are weird. I mean, I don't know why people want to hoard toilet paper to begin with, and it's insane. Insane. I know people get worried, but a bit of common sense goes a long way, people. Come on. Come on, people. You don't need 600 rolls of toilet paper. It's not going to get that bad. You don't have to lock yourself away for 2 months. Meetin 4K, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. My apologies if I'm mispronouncing your username. I get it wrong for everyone wrong. So everyone's username I get wrong. But Meetin 4K, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. When you guys follow me on Twitch. So thank you, Meetin 4K. As always, if you've got any questions while I'm working, please feel free to ask me. You just want to say hello, that's always welcome. But if all you want to do is watch, that's completely fine. Sniper says, cool, yeah, I missed the stream when you were making them, I think. Yeah. I'm actually surprised. A lot of you guys remembered that if you're not in the US, I was starting an hour earlier because the US has started daylight saving now. So like normally in the UK, I'd start at 1 a.m, but because the US are now daylight savings, I start an hour earlier at, I think it's about midnight in the UK until you guys start daylight saving. So I'm impressed. All you guys have impressed me. You remembered that I was that if you weren't in the US, I was starting earlier. Well done. So Sniper says, no, Phil, don't drive the masses to pills. Look, some of them need pills, I think. They need to chill. Some people seriously need to chill out. I mean, come on, people. Chill. You're going to be fine. You are going to be fine. Trust me. You know, I know that it's a worrying thing, but you'll be fine. You don't need 600 rolls of toilet paper. You won't have to lock yourself away for 6 months. It'll be fine. It might be a bit of short-term pain, but it'll be fine. Android Lust says, I hope there won't be a gas shortage. Why would there be a gas shortage? Well, who knows? Computer parts have gotten much more expensive. They're going up because the supply chain has been interrupted because a lot of the Chinese factories will close down, or a lot of the factories in other places in the world have closed down because of the coronavirus thing. So computer hardware has gone up in price, at least at short term. So yeah, my advice to anyone that might be wanting to upgrade their stuff at the moment would probably be don't do it now. Wait 6 months if you can, because you're going to be paying more for it at the moment, just because the factories have closed down. So temporarily closed down. Sniper says, don't talk to me about computer parts. Still waiting on my CPU and there's a shortage. I was about to say as well, not only have they gone up in price, there's a shortage of parts to buy. What CPU are you waiting on, Sniper? Okay. Someone shoot me, Sniper says. Shark, it's good to see you, Shark says. Replace your graphics card with a roll of toilet paper. Oh, man. Well, yeah, at the rate that toilet paper is disappearing, pretty soon a roll of toilet paper will be worth what you pay for a graphics card. Pretty soon. Actually, I was reading, there were stories on the news that some people have been trying to sell like 20 rolls of toilet paper for like $5,000 on eBay. There have been ads for like $5,000 toilet paper on eBay. Can you believe that? I mean, kudos, what an entrepreneur to think you can get $5,000 for 20 rolls of toilet paper on eBay, but man, it's a bit of a scummy thing to be doing, but anyway. Because some people have no toilet paper. And don't go spending $5,000 on toilet paper. It's insane. Android Lust says, during hurricanes here, it's hard to find gas. Oh, hard to find gas. Once the panic starts, you're talking about bottled gas or something. Once the panic starts here, I'm hoping that it doesn't happen. Who knows? I don't know. I don't use bottled gas. which is what I'm assuming you're talking about, Android Lust. But maybe it might be worth grabbing a gas cylinder or two and keeping it now, just in case. I'm not saying buy 20, I'm just saying buy an extra one or two, in case. It's been a while since you've been able to drop by, Shark. I know, I haven't seen you for a while, but it's good to see you, Shark. I hope you're well, and I hope you're staying healthy with everything going on in the world, and I hope you got toilet paper, because we're all bitching about not being able to buy toilet paper at the moment. Sniper says the i9 for the new system. Oh, nice. Been working on my old backup system since the hardware failure. Nice. i9. Cool. Very nice, actually. Hazilla, it's good to see you, says just use the scoop method. If no toilet paper. I'm not sure what the scoop method is, Hazilla. I don't know if I really want to know. Sniper says, I saw an ad for a reused toilet. I saw that. I didn't actually read the article, but I saw some woman was supposed to be selling reusable toilet paper. I don't know how that works. And again, something probably I really don't want to know. Yeah, reusable toilet paper. How gross is that? Nuts. It's nuts. Hazilla says, if no, Legmog, it's good to see you, Legmog. How are you? Says, don't worry, I have it all planned out and I'm ahead of the curve. When humanity runs out of every paper-based thing to wipe their butts with, what next? What next, I ask you? Yeah, that's right. We do it how our ancestors did it. Bananas. Bananas. Banana peels. That's why I'm stocking up on bananas. That's it. It's my ticket to the big time. I'll remember you all when I'm filthy rich. I don't believe I've ever tried to wipe my bottom with a banana peel. You know you can always use leaves, people. I mean, come on. That's the way the ancestors did it back in the day before we had toilet paper. You just use leaves. If worst comes to worst, you can just, run out into your backyard. You'll be fine. Or if you don't have a backyard, go to the public park. I'm not suggesting you wipe your bottom in the public park, but grab some leaves and go home. It's good to see you there, Legmog. Hope you're well. Are you running out of toilet paper, Legmog? Because everybody else is. Android Lust says, gas for my big old American... Oh, you're talking about petrol. I'm sorry, it's this American-Australian thing. Americans call petrol gas, and in Australia we call gas petrol. Right, okay. Well, the oil prices dropped, so the cost of gas should be much cheaper for you now. Because, yeah, the price of oil has fallen through the floor like the stock market. It's dropped off a cliff, which should make petrol, gas, cheaper. So, yeah, maybe you should stock up on a couple of tins of gas while it gets cheap, just in case. I think there's too much oil in the world, so I don't think it's going to run out of gas. I think that'll be fine. Sniper says, Legmog, hi. Android Lust says, reusable toilet. No, isn't that disgusting, Android Lust? Android Lust says, hey, Legmog. Sniper says, you say that now, but it's either that or bananas, Android Lust. Shark says, I'm good on toilet paper. Worst case scenario, spring is coming round, so I'll make good use of the blooming flowers. That's right. Get back to nature. Better for the environment. Better for the trees. If we don't use toilet paper anyway. I'm just trying to scale this up correctly, this little reflection capture here. Just got to make sure we don't go too high because we don't want to hit the attic, because we want a separate reflection capture for the attic. Yeah, I wouldn't have to do this if I'd been able to go outside of this room and just copy one of my reflection captures from another room. But anyway, they've told me I can't. Andrew Lutz says, well, bananas smell good. They do. They certainly do. You'll have a nice smelling bottom if you use banana peels as toilet paper. And you can eat the banana, so it's win-win. You get a healthy fruit to eat and you get something to wipe your bottom with. Legmug says, oh no, you don't you didn't use bananas, Phil, but I bet your great times a million grandfather did. Phil Does Mammoth Hunting was his name. No, I use leaves. No, I don't. I use toilet paper until I run out and can't buy anymore, which will happen in the next couple of weeks if I can't buy some, because I haven't been able to buy any for weeks. Oh, Sniper says we have potato skins. We're all good in the IE. Well, there you go. Potato skins. That's Sniper Echo's advice. Use potato skins. Legmog's advice. Use banana peels. And my advice is use leaves. Or flowers. Flowers are good too. Legmog says, so Legmog now has 3 dates in the works. Talk about waiting forever for one bus. You've got 3 dates in the works, Legmog. Oh, you're such a player, dude. No, well, like, you got to put yourself out there to find the right one, so you're doing it the right way. Just maybe don't mention to the other 2 that you've got the other 2 dates going on as well. Girls generally don't like to think that they're one of many. Hopefully these ones will work out for you, because I know you've been looking for a while. Let's scale it up just a little bit more. I just want to make sure I hit those panels on the side. But we can't go into the next room. We can probably go in a little bit more. If I could find the thing. Where is it? These are, I wish there was a better way to visualize these reflection captures than just this boxy outline. Because it does make it quite difficult sometimes to set them up. Like I wished Epic had made it so the box reflection capture was all opaque or filled in a little bit so that you could see it more easily. Legmog says tomorrow is date number 1. I'll try being here after it's done and give you all the results too. Yes, we will want to hear how your date went. Yeah, I'm just trying to find the edge of my reflection capture here. There it is. We want to make sure we get the room, but we don't go too far out the room. We could probably scale it out a little bit more. It should be good. I'm not hitting the next room, which is important. Because yeah, if we hit the next room, then the next room is going to be starting to reflect in the reflections inside the bedroom, and that's just weird. It does not happen. That's not how reflection works. You can't get reflection from the room beside you. Sniper says to Legmog, bring her here with you. Do you really want to subject your a potential girlfriend to Phil's stream on a first date? I wouldn't. I wouldn't if I was you. Smurfberry says that's a bad idea. I agree. I think it's a very bad idea. She can listen to Phil talk about toilet paper for half an hour and how he can't buy any. Let's I've just got to try and get into a position where I can see this reflection capture sides properly. You see how it sort of disappears inside the room? It's just insane to try and see. And I know you can go into top viewport and top view and do it that way, but I can't really do that because I'll get yelled at. You'll see too much. So I've got to try and position my camera so I can see it to do my scaling. Sniper says this guy's wise, that's right. Smurfberry knows. Okay, it needs to come out a little bit more. I've got to try and get in a position where I can see my axes and also see the edge of the reflection box here as I scale. That's not easy, let me tell you. Not easy at all. A little bit bigger. Sniper says, or worse, Phil repping ZBrush to her. That's right. ZBrush. Oh man. I actually haven't opened that program for quite a while. I would really generally use it to do retopology, but I use a plugin in Max now for that. And pretty soon that'll come built into 3D Studio Max. And then ZBrush will hardly ever be used. Because I'm not a character artist, I don't need ZBrush for a lot of my work. It's good for character art, but I don't do character art, so. Sniper says it's kind of ironic, 2 years looking for a toilet and now Karma Phil can't get a blog roll. That's right, in real life. How ironic is that? It took so long and you bitched so much about not having a bathroom in the building here and I gave you one, and as soon as I gave you a bathroom, now Phil can't buy toilet paper in the real. In the real. I'm being punished for taking so long to give you guys a bathroom, aren't I? That's the reason. I hadn't thought about that, Sniper Echo, you're completely correct. Android Lust says, my ZBrush is open now. Well, there you go. Sniper says, Android Lust, steady on, don't encourage him. ZBrush is a good program, it's just that interface is so bad. I really, really wish Pixologic would just give me the option to change the interface. You know, if you don't want to do it, then you just give me the option to change it. And I know you can move things around, and I've done that in ZBrush, but it's not a clean interface. It's a very messy interface in ZBrush. Very, very messy. They nest things within things, and it has a layout that unlike any other 3D program I've ever used in my life. It's just its own thing. ZBrush, its own thing. Okay, we want to bring this all the way over until we hit the bookcase, which should be around about here. A little bit more. We need to hit those panels on the wall. Well, let's see if we've gone outside on this side, because we don't want to go outside, but we do want to hit the panels on that side, so we need to bring it over a little bit and scale it up a little bit more. So we are at the panel, and we are just inside the panels here for the hidden room, so that's good. And we are just below, are we below? Yes, we're just below hitting the attic, which is good. And just below the floor, which is good. We should be good. Our reflection capture should be ready. Finally. Okay. Android Lost says, instead of ZBrush changing, Autodesk should update Mudbox. Well, that's true too. They should, but they're not going to, unfortunately. I think they're letting Mudbox die. They did release the Mudbox 2020 version, but I don't think they made many changes to it. I don't think Autodesk are interested in updating it anymore, unfortunately. I think they've conceded defeat to ZBrush and to Pixologic now. Sniper says, I forgot to take a screenshot of ZBrush by by a guy here recently. He had an Unreal layout, completely custom. It looked so clean, reminded me of Substance Painter. Oh, how did he do that? How did he do that? I want to know. I'd love to know. I'd love to see this this clean interface, and I'd love to know how he did it. Because I know you can manipulate ZBrush's interface, you can move things around, and I've done that. That doesn't solve the problem of how Pixelogic set things up, set menus up within menus, and just the way they name some things is bizarre. What they call some things in program is just weird. Yeah. Anyway. I was going to say something, now I've forgotten what it was. It's old age. Yeah, no, I can't remember. I was going to say something, but I can't remember. So yes, we've got the reflection capture in, which is good. I'm going to turn on lit mode. And we're going to rebuild the reflection captures because we're not going to see it update until we rebuild it. Now, reflection capture rebuilding doesn't take very long, so that's not an issue. You see, done. Quick. But that's the reflection capture just so it takes care of like things on the furniture and the wall paneling. We still need to set ones up for the bookcase. So we're going to do that now. So it gives us some reflection here in the bookcase. You can see that. You can see the bedroom there. I'm just going to check that these are set to static. Yep. Yep. Cool. There's a couple of other things we need to look at here as well in this room, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's look at the reflection captures here for the bookcase. So let's go back into unlit mode. We're going to do a sphere reflection capture. These are easier to work with than the boxes, thankfully. And we just want it to be big enough to encompass 2 doors at a time. And close enough. I'm going to make it a little bit. No, we won't. Now I'm just going to duplicate it. Because we want one there, we want one over here. And we want one in the middle. Let's go back into lit mode. Let's rebuild reflection captures again. Let's go into game mode so we can see what we're doing. Okay, let us now do a quick save. It just takes a little while because it's built a reflection capture, so it has to save that back out to disk. Good, let's go back into unlit mode. Now the bookcase. We need to fill up our bookcase, so I do have books that we created for the rest of the building, so I'm just going to find where I put them. I did optimize them, so I reduced the draw calls from like 8 to 1. One texture per, one material I should say per object instead of 8. So now we can start placing some of these books on our bookshelves. Let's start with this pile here. To get the scale correct. I might scale them up just a little bit. I mean, they're probably not too bad, but I think the bigger they are, the fewer we'll need, so. It's going to be difficult too for us to see them until we actually start playing in the editor, because it's sort of hidden behind the door here. Again, I'm just moving back and looking at it from a distance so I can gauge whether the scale is correct. Maybe just a little bit bigger. Hopefully it's not too hard for you guys to see on stream. I can sort of see the yellow outline. That's what I'm basing my scaling on. Let's just double check the painting. We can get an idea of how big they should be from the painting. Yeah. Maybe just a little bit bigger. Let's make sure that we're not inside the bookcase there. Okay, well, what I can do here is I can scale this so it just fits between the two sides of the bookcase, so we can scale it down a little bit. Whoop. That's perfect. Hey, now. I'm going to duplicate this for the other side. And what I might even do is I might do a translate on the X as well. Just so that it's a little bit less noticeable that it's a copy of this one. I do want to leave some gaps between some of these books because I do want, when the player opens the doors, to have some books that they can actually pick up and inspect. So I do have to, and I haven't actually, pardon me, I haven't created those books yet, so I just need to leave some gaps occasionally in amongst our books where I can fill with these interactable books that the player can pick up and look at. So I must remember to do that. Sniper says, I don't know the details. He said he scripted it. I didn't get to talk to him before he left. I'd love to know how he did that. Again, I'm not an expert with ZBrush, so maybe this is something I'm just not aware of how you do it. I don't know how to do it. Let's duplicate this one. Let's bring it over here. Yeah, I'd love to be able to script it to change it to something useful and usable, the ZBrush interface, but yeah, I don't know how. Let us duplicate this one. Let's pull that down to here. Now that's interesting. This central piece here is obviously a little bit more narrow than the two side pieces, so I'm just going to scale these in. Okay, let's grab another book pile. Let's go with, actually, let's just copy one more. Let's copy that over here. So we'll take it up to there and over to here. Android Lost says those books lost a little bit of weight. That's right. They did. They lost a bit of weight. Scale this one in a little bit and we'll lose a little bit of weight on this one too. There we go. Now it's got to make sure that they're actually sitting on the shelves because I haven't been checking that. They're not in the shelf like they are here, but they're actually on the shelf. Let's check the others as well. This one's floating above the shelf, so that's no good. Where were the other ones? That one's okay. I think this one was okay. Did we do this one? I think we did. Yes. And that one's okay. And what about this one here? That one's okay. And those two are okay. Okay. I might grab this pile here and we'll duplicate it for the other side. Now, not all of these doors you can actually open. I believe these two are permanently locked. So I don't want to put any of the interactive books in this side or down in this cupboard because the player won't be able to open them. And I've done that just to make the bookcase a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Real, natural, I don't know. Not every door is unlocked and openable. Just 2 of them are locked, permanently locked. They'll never be able to be opened in the game. A bit more believable. I think that's the word I'm looking for. It's like, you know, sometimes when you play a computer game, you can see an area in the game that you can never actually explore. It's that sort of thing. So yeah, so it's like having an area in the game that you can never get to or explore. It's just sort of there for believability, I guess. Let's move it over to this side. Scale it in. Scaling it in is actually a good thing too, because it's sort of changing the shape of the books a little bit, so it makes them look a little bit more different and not just like a copy paste from every other book pile that we've got in the bookcase. How am I going? I think that's correct, that's fine. So books. Andrew thus says, do the books have names in them anywhere? Names on them? These ones don't, no. These are just generic books. No names. Oh, actually, yeah, well, they do, but not that you can read. They're just pretty generic book pile. The books that you can actually pick up and inspect that I'm going to place strategically in the bookcase, they do have names, and yeah, but these ones, no. When I created them, I avoided really having any names showing, because I knew I would be copying and pasting these book piles quite a bit in the building, so I didn't want people to notice that it was the same book pile necessarily. But the books that you actually pick up and inspect, they will have names. Okay. Might grab... I'm going to grab that copy and move one of them down here as well. Andrew thus says, okay, are you going to reverse the x-axis on any of them? I reverse the x-axis on this, and I'm copying and pasting between these two so that some of them are reversed. So, yeah. I have reversed the axes on a few of them just to make them look a bit more different. I am doing that. I am. Okay. Now I must remember to leave a gap. Now, so let's switch to the two smaller book piles. 3 smaller book piles, I should say. There are 3 different versions, and we've got some books that lay on their side. And we've got some of these books that are stacked. We can use those as well. Yeah, I did. I reversed these ones. I reversed the axes on these ones. So now we're going to work with the smaller piles, and I've got to start remembering to leave a bit of a gap. So let's go with this book pile here. Rotate it 180 degrees. I want to make sure all these books are scaled to the same values, so I'm just going to check the scaling and copy it. To this one. So now this door opens here out this way, so I want the player to be able to reach for the interactable books around about there. So that works out well. Leaves us just enough room for us to put one of our interactive books in here. So that's good. We can have one of them there. I think from memory now, again, what I should really be doing is going into looking at my design document to see how many of these interactable books there are. But instead of doing that, I'm going to try and guess it and try and remember. I think there's 3 or 4. We'll leave space for 4. And if that's not right, then I'll fill up the space with something else once I actually start putting the interactive ones in there. We'll say 4. We'll leave space for 4. So 1 there, probably 1 over here. Just so as the player moves across the bookcase, they've got a couple of different objects they can interact with while they're in this room, while they're looking at the bookcase, I should say. So we're going to duplicate this pile again. We are going to transform on the x-axis on this one. So that leaves us a little space here for another book to go. So 1 interactive book there, 2nd interactive book there. These are locked, so the 3rd interactive book over here. So let's duplicate this book pile again. Because that interactive there on the inside, we'll put this interactive on the outside. So we want to move these ones over. Make sure that they're sitting on the bookshelf, which they should be. Yep. Okay, so interactive book 1, interactive book 2, interactive book 3. These are locked, so no interactive books in there. And then we can go interactive book 1, 2, 3. Probably here. Yeah, because interactive down here, so interactive over here. So we'll duplicate it, translate it. So we'll flip it. So duplicate it. We will transform on the X. So flip it. And we want the interactive to be on this side. Good. Right, so now I know where all my interactive books are going to be. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we just need to fill up the gaps with books. So let's choose another book pile. Let's go with this one. Let me copy the scale value again. Let's move it in. Just going to move it over so I can line the books up. Okay. Let's duplicate it again. Let's move this one up to the top here. And let's put it on this side. Okay, let's make another copy and move it over here and transform it on the X, flip it. Okay, I'm getting there. Filling up our bookcase. Let's duplicate that grouping and put up here. Actually, we need to fill these up as well. Now, I could have designed this where the books were already in the bookcase, but doing it this way, we can reuse assets we've already used in the rest of the building. And we can turn those assets into hardware instance static meshes. So hierarchical instance static meshes, I should say, HISMs. So it uses, it only reads it into memory once for the mesh and for the texture. Which we couldn't do if I'd added the books as part of the bookcase. So while it's a little bit more fiddly to set up, it gives you more interesting variation, and we can save texture and mesh memory by turning them into hardware instances. Let's duplicate that and put one down here. Let's move that to this side. Alright, what else do we have here? We've got this book pile, which I don't think we've used yet, have we? Scale it up. This is the side of the bookcase that the player can't open, so we can fill this one up. Let's duplicate it and move it up. And let's mirror it. Now I'm going to duplicate it again and just move it to the side. And we'll keep going here before I start using the angled books. So there. Let's duplicate it. Duplicate it again. Move it up there. I might leave a bit of a gap in the middle just so it's a little bit more interesting. Now let's duplicate it for down here. Let's duplicate it again, but next to itself. But we're going to flip it. Okay, so let us grab the pile that's angled Scale it up. And let's put that pile here. I'm actually going to scale this up a little bit more. It doesn't matter, some books will be bigger than others, taller. But I'm doing this so that the edges hit both the books and the side of the bookcase, because otherwise it looks like the books are just floating in mid-air there. So we're going to move it over so it actually hits the wall. Let's duplicate that. And move it up and over. And we're going to flip it on the X. Okay. I might actually, one there, I might jump down to this one, and we might remove, oh, that's one piece, alright. I'm just looking for an interesting balance on our angled books in the overall bookcase, just something to make it look a bit prettier. So we've got one there, we've got one there. What about this side? Actually, I need to leave a gap there if that's one of the interactive books. Yeah, what about up the top here? That might be good. So let's get rid of this pile. And let's copy this pile. I'm just going to make sure my books are sort of hitting each other. Alright, so angled, 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 and I want one more angled over here somewhere. That's where one of our interactives is going. That's where another interactive is going. It's one pile, unfortunately. So again, just want to make sure I'm not confusing myself. We've got an interactive there, so that's one. An interactive there, which is two. And an interactive there, which is three. They're locked, so they'll never be open. And an interactive there, which is four. So we might be okay. Let's do a quick save. I'm going to turn, it's going to play in the editor again. Looks much better, yeah. Bookcase doesn't look like a bookcase until it's got some books in it. So once it's filled with books, it brings it to life. So we've got a gap there for one of the interactive books we can pick up. That's one. We've got a gap here for a second interactive book we can pick up, and a third up there. And then I believe here, I think it's here, fourth interactive there. Let's make sure. Okay, now this is going to be interesting. The middle part, a part of the physics door, you're going to find once I move this door, these books are not going to move, I'm sure. Yeah, you see what the problem here is? We've got our books just floating in space. I need to make the books part of this physics object, so I forgot about that. I'm trying to work out the best way to do that. Android Dust says unlit bugs me in Unreal, but it has to be used. Yeah, look, you can't really work in lit mode all the time until you've got all your lights and stuff, and even then, you can't see what you're doing. So yeah, what I'm going to have to do here is I'm actually going to have to make these books in the middle part with the door, part of the physics object. So I need to edit the blueprint. And I'm going to have to, unfortunately, do this again by hand. Just the ones in the middle, which is a real pain. I should have remembered, actually. I completely forgot. So, I'm trying to think if there's a way for me to easily transfer them over. I don't think there is, unfortunately. Maybe there is. Let's see. So this one is called Book Pile F Op 3. No, it doesn't find individual assets by the look of it. I'll double check. Yeah, it's not finding it. So annoying. Man. Man. Alright. Alright. At least we've got a template we can work with here that we can reset it up. So we're starting with the angled book, and the angled book is at 1.6 on the scale. And we want to rotate it. It's no big deal. It just means we have to just set up the books in the middle here again. Okay, you see that it's flipped here? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, as I set them up, just remove the old ones so we don't get completely confused. And we've got Bookcase Econ 2. I believe it doesn't really matter which one it is, but we'll say it's this one. Scale. Whoops. I normally have this on my second monitor. Because it's a group of the book beside it, it takes on the scale value of the book beside it. That's why when I scaled it up, it was too big. Just going to make sure that they're lined up. A few left to do. This one is one pile and it's the large pile, so that's this one here. Same deal, because it's part of the same group. It takes on the scale. Takes on the position as well, the location I should say. Okay. This one is another large grouping, I think. Yep. Just going to give myself a bit more room to work here. We don't want this one to be grouped to that though, so I'm just going to move it out of that group so we can move it down. And we want to... That's correct. Okay, we can delete that one. It is actually on the wrong side, so I just need to move it over here. Okay. How are we going for time? I think I'm just going to compile and save that there. We'll do a quick save and we might pick this up tomorrow when I start streaming again. We'll just swap out, there's 2 more shelves we need to swap out, and then we can call the bedroom pretty much done. But let's just check that the books we put in there are going to stay as part of that object before we close off for the day. I need to make sure that they're part of this grouping, so I'm going to move them into that grouping. Let's do a test. We're going to have some books left behind because I haven't swapped them all out yet. But we should get some that stay with the bookcase. So if I open it up and we pull back, you can see that we have some books now that follow the bookcase door. So we will finish that off tomorrow though, I think. We got a bit done. We got our room set up pretty much. Reflection captures in. Books in our bookcase pretty much. Now, the other thing I might just look at tomorrow is just looking at adding maybe a little bit more light down here over these objects so that when you open them up, you can actually see what you're looking at. But we'll tackle that tomorrow, I think. Thank you, Android Lost. I'm glad you like it. I do want to thank you guys very much though for hanging out with me and for watching. I will be back on again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. Remember, if you're not in the US, that might be an hour earlier for you than what you're used to watching my stream on. But just check my countdown on my Twitch page. That'll tell you when I'm live. But I'm live again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific. You guys and girls have a great night. Take care. And hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. See you guys.